how's everybody doing? Yeah, that same question everybody has. How many of you have children in your lives? That's actually more excited than I really was expecting. Like, I was gonna make a joke about how, like, oh, people are more excited about the football teams they follow than the children they have, but no. That was nice. That was heartwarming. I don't have any children personally, but I was drafted into being an uncle about 8 years ago, and the war is ongoing. I always thought being an uncle was a ceremonial title, like a knight or a congressman. You don't have to do any work, you just have to be. Nobody expects it out of you. It's like, Jeffrey, you're an uncle now. What? Alright. Do I get a certificate? My sisters, between my two sisters, I have 3 nieces and 3 nephews. Ripley, Lexia, Linda, Matthew, Caroline, Jack. It's a race between them, and it's literally neck and neck. Anytime I could say literally, and it doesn't sound like a teenager, it sounds more like a doctor, I'm really happy. So, like, instead of like, Trevor, if you don't take me home right now, I'm literally gonna burst into flames. Versus, Mr. Burkins, if you eat one more pepperoni lovers pizza by yourself in one sitting, your heart will literally fail you. Doc, you don't mean He meant it. I don't do that anymore, I can't handle it. Being an uncle's not as hard as I thought it would be because, well, you know, it probably is for some people, but I've had it pretty easy. 8 years and 6 children, I bottle fed one of them last week for the first time. I didn't realize it was the first one until I was already there, and no competent adults were around to feed this child, so I stepped up. But I messed up a couple times. I'm not a terrific uncle. I kind of locked a kid in the house and let myself out of the house one time. He was 2. I was letting the dog out. Keys were on the table. My sister had this really fancy sliding door that has a bar. It's like, no one's getting in from the outside, but if it falls, then you get like 6 inches of taunting freedom that, like, I'm not getting through there. And you don't know desperation until you're trying to convince a 2-year-old that he should get you your keys and bring them to you instead of just running around the house because he owns it now. But I haven't watched that Sisters Cat in a while, probably because of that. But it's a shame because there's 3 of them now, and they would be way more helpful if I did that again. Because there's 3, and they know a little bit of English. And they know more sign language than me. Like, all I know in sign language is I'm sorry, which is, I haven't figured out how to use it on the children yet. I just use it whenever I'm on a really bad date and I just want to apologize to the girl without actually saying, I'm sorry I brought you here. I should have just let you stay at home tonight. It's kind of scary. My one nephew, Ripley, he looks exactly like I did when I was 7, like almost identical. And so every time I give him a rough time or like yell at him, it's like I'm yelling at myself. And I feel really bad about it, but it's gotta be done. And there's Caroline. Caroline she hates me. Understandably so, as you probably pick up. She's also the most violent. The one time me and her connected was for Christmas. I bought her one of those clowns that, like, when you post it comes back. Except for she just wailed the hell out of it, and after about 5 minutes, she remembered I gave it to her and gave me a hug, and then continued to kick the hell out of that clown. It warmed my heart. Kind of like how when you all reacted, like, we have children in our lives. We remember them. It's beautiful. No, my favorite thing about kids probably is they think you're great even when you know you're not great. Like, it's happened to me a couple times. Lexia is one of my nieces. And one time I found out in daycare, her and a boy decided they were gonna get married. But by the end of daycare, he changed his mind. And I was like, Lexi, I heard you're a little heartbroken about it. It might be a little bit too early for this. Might be a little bit too early for marriage. Don't waste your time on it. And she's like, I just want somebody to marry me. Will you marry me, Unc? Lexia, sweetie, you can do a lot better than that. My name's Jeff Burkins. Now's my time. Thank you.